Hey, what's up guys, Riff here. So today we're going to be talking about the man, the myth, the meme, iDubbbz, because over the past couple of days, he's had several bad moments, including another crash out, this time over a joke made by his former friend, Ethan Klein, and also his meme-worthy appearance on Hasan Piker's recent stream, where Hasan Piker inadvertently roasts iDubbbz pretty much as hard as you could possibly do. So let's jump right into it. I think everyone knows
I did not see this
controversy. You can look to my other videos if you want further context, but he released a content cop on H3. It absolutely backfired, as you can see by the likes versus dislikes. He's lost over 20,000 subs in the last...
No, the like button isn't real. Me losing subs is not real, guys. It's not. Those people are bigots.
Month. That is a net loss, so despite getting 11 million views and trying to desperately bring in communities that he was pandering to with this video, he still has a net loss of 20k subs, and he followed up that content cop with a content deputy once again on H3.
Which wasn't even a content deputy, by the way.
Is going horrible. In that same video, he talked about these like-dislike extensions for YouTube. He said they're inaccurate with no proof, and then he inadvertently disproved his own claims by showing a former video where he says, hey, I'm used to getting roasted for this, and then people like myself were able to compare the analytics he showed for that video to the extension on that video, and it showed that the extension is accurate within a fraction of a percent. So a big self-own there. Now, what are we talking about this time? So this clip has been making the rounds on Twitter. Basically, to sum it up, Ethan Klein's talking about iDubbbz, and there's a lot of people make cuck jokes about him, and he makes it kind of in reverse, okay? He says it's actually Anissa who's being cucked here because Ethan Klein is effing iDubbbz with all of his responses to the content cop because he's owning him that hard.
Oh, okay, that's a really dry joke. I would say this is not even that deep. What?
His delivery on it was horrible. And it was awkward, and even his producer here said, I don't know about that one, Chief. But it was a joke. At the end of the day, it's nothing
this is
crazy.
Pretty dumb.
It was a clear joke. It just didn't land well at all.
Dry.
But people are taking it very seriously. They're saying, that's not a joke. That's disgusting. That's just a gross statement. Even people saying it's a threat. And you can see the people who are doing this, they clearly have an agenda. I mean, the account posting this is called Ethan's Attic. It's an account purely dedicated to Ethan Klein. I mean, that's insane. And then the description of this is blatantly false. It's saying he made those comments about effing his wife, which was not what happened. It's the complete opposite. And I think what they're... I
love people posting on the internet complete untruths and people don't look at the video. I wish... Like, I know other people have brought this up before, specifically like Aswin. They've said before, like, I think that you should have a timestamp of how much of the video you watched in its totality and at what point you paused to make a comment to show, like, what did you watch the whole video or did you watch the first 20 seconds and then you're like, oh my god, you're killing babies. It's like, that's not even in the video. What are you talking about?
Doing here is trying to garner more outrage with this switching up of the target here, which is also very strange because if you genuinely believe these are disgusting and evil things he's saying, why would it matter if it was iDubbbz or his wife? Like, clearly they have an agenda here, but iDubbbz would respond with a gem. Haha, what a freak. The new king of incels. So this is a guy who has made infinite jokes more edgy than this right here. And of course, I know iDubbbz discovered empathy at the ripe age of 32. He is forgiven for all of his sins. But to see this turnaround where he's calling someone a freak over a joke like this, yeah, times have changed quite dramatically for him.
What I never understood is that iDubbbz said that he matured in the last 5 years, and then I realized he was actually like 28 years old when, like 5 years ago, he was 28. He was doing all that, like, all those skits with Joji and Max Mofo and the other guy, what's his name? And he was way older than the rest of them, actually. Yeah, he gained empathy at the ripe old age of, like, 30.
And then the last part is what a lot of people are making fun of.
Anything for
the
views.
new
That
king
was
of
it.
incels.
Yeah,
Wow, that word has
Chad?
lost all meaning whatsoever. And the thing is, like, as I've talked about before, I'm a happily married man, and I get called an incel on the regular, okay? People just completely abuse that word to basically mean anyone I don't like is an incel. And with
it's like
people like
Nazi,
me and other
yeah.
married content creators, I've seen people go another level and say, well, just because they're married, it doesn't technically make them not an incel, which is a very wild and gross thing to say. But in Ethan Klein's case, like, he literally has children with his wife. I mean, he is definitionally not an incel, but of course, this sort of language is something you would expect out of iDubbbz given the crowd he's been hanging out with. But a lot of this just flies in the face of previous content, once again, that iDubbbz has made. Mainly this video from about 6 years ago where he titled it, "The Joke Police Tick Me Off," where he talks
How ironic, man. How ironic.
about this exact scenario where people are being
The
offended
joke
over queer
police.
jokes and dismissing them as disgusting statements and not even providing any legitimate criticism to the joke itself, but instead feigning a lot of moral outrage over the joke without actually explaining what's wrong with it.
The joke police are a group of people, whether they're on the right or the left, who think that they know what a joke is. No, not a joke to me. If it's not a joke to me, guess what? It ain't a joke. Another thing we have to watch out for is saying things like,
This is sick, man. This is sick, disgusting stuff.
it's not even funny. It's just disgusting. I didn't find that humorous. It's just simply repulsive. Now, if that's your genuine reaction to something, that's fine. That's your reaction. But if you're a critic, a writer, someone who has to, like, form valued opinions that people want to share online, then you need to put a little bit more effort into your critiques.
I just wanted to quickly say, look at the like-dislike ratio on this video compared to his current.
I will say one thing. I remember we were watching a, I think it was a video about, it was with the Family Guy versus Simpsons thing, and there was a lot of people that said, oh, well, you can't say that it's a disgusting joke, and I said, that's just my opinion. I mean, you can say that it's a funny joke, but I think it's gross and over the line. I'm not saying you can't make jokes like that. I just said that it was kind of gross and weird. Yeah, shooting the family and R-wording Marge Simpson I think it was. I didn't find it funny. Some people do. I don't think he should censor himself, but I also think it was over the line. That's my opinion. Yeah. Offended by punchlines? Are all jokes canceled yet? Yes, you're getting canceled, buddy. You're not allowed to be offended by anything.
Current ones. This is about a 98% like-dislike ratio on this video, which, by the way, is a very controversial one where he's defending tweets made by James Gunn, the director. If you don't know, about 15 years ago, he made a series of very controversial tweets that he viewed as jokes, and in this video, iDubbbz is defending all of them, saying they're edgy jokes, they're clearly jokes, and if you don't like it, you're either an idiot or you're feigning outrage for some kind of an agenda.
That's crazy that how far we have fallen. What happened, man? Did he get his brain broken? I thought he had a pretty reasonable head on his shoulders. What happened? Did the culture shift and then he decided to go with the wave? I don't know what happened, man. Sam Hyde, his wife, Anissa, YouTube money? I don't know, man. It's so hard to say. I think it's a multitude of things. I think the culture shifted, and that's what kind of carried him over, in my opinion.
And now we see him losing his mind over a...
Because he also denounced his old fandom and said that every single person that thought he was funny back probably 6-7 years ago is an idiot, and he's like revoking everything that he ever said. Yeah, he's not saying like, oh, well, I used to be pretty funny, but then I changed. It's like, oh, well, I actually never thought this was funny in the first place, and I've changed as a result.
Very tame joke. And some of the tweets that he defends in this video, if Ethan Klein made something within a stratosphere of James Gunn's tweets, they would be trying to ruin his life. Him and all of his new orbiters and the people he is trying to appeal to, they would be trying to ruin Ethan's life. I guarantee various bad actors would be trying to call CPS on his family again. That's how different things really are for iDubbbz back 6 years ago compared to now, and the current landscape of social media. But there was some other debate here about the king of incels, Asmongold saying, WTF, did I fall off? Now,
did I fall off? Honestly, he has to have the crown for that. Yeah, Asmon doesn't even have a girlfriend anymore, man. Yeah, he actually is unironically the king of incels. He gets called the king of incels all the fucking time. That he's a fucking loser.
Now, if he is the king of incels, I wouldn't go as far as to say I'm the prince. I'm more like a little more down the ladder here. I'd say like I'm the ambassador of incels at this point. Yeah, I just want to make that very clear. But of course, a lot of people supported iDubbbz's tweet despite the very heavy criticism in the quotes and replies. You can see Hasan Piker reposted that tweet, which is not too surprising because, well, he doesn't like Ethan Klein with a burning passion, especially since he's still recovering from his loss in his debate against him, where, again, you can see the like-dislike ratio, the dislikes ratioing the likes on his own video, which is now an extension that is confirmed to be accurate thanks to Ian. But you can see things are a little tough right now. But to his credit, he has done a charity stream where he's reacting to the content nuke H3 made on him several months ago. He's been ignoring it, trying not to react to it, but he agreed to react to it for charity, which good on him. But of course, with the community that he has fostered, even a...
Wow. 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 Wow, 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 wow. That is pretty fucking cringe. I'm not gonna lie. Charity? No, I'm sure it's real charity, chat. No, I disagree. I feel like you should have banned the word Ethan or something out of the donation bar. Yeah, or like had your mod say something, because it's kind of a bad taste to say this kind of thing.
Charitable or do this kind of thing. Even donations to a charity are toxic. You can see the names of the people making live donations.
Ethan Klein ran over his Yorkie with a desk chair 3+ times. $10. I feel like if I had that happen and I did a charity stream and I had a bunch of people donating like a fucking Hasan Piker is a terrorist, I'd probably get fucking reported and banned off of Twitch. Not that I wouldn't ban them or like endorse that. I'm just saying I feel like you should probably not do that. I feel like it's a really bad look.
All of them either slandering Ethan Klein, slandering his wife, saying gross, outrageous things about his children, about his pets. Like, only that community can make donating to charity something that is so ridiculously toxic. But then, part of that reaction to the content nuke was bringing iDubbbz onto his live stream on Twitch. And it couldn't be any more meme-worthy. I mean, look at this. He literally brought this guy in and put him in the cuck chair. I mean, maybe at this point, Hasan is playing like 5D chess and he knows what he's doing and he's just subtly
where else is he supposed to do it, man?
Which seems to be a possibility, a remote one given, a possibility given this clip we're about to watch. This is the most insane projection I've ever seen in my life. This is a great clip where you could apply it to Hasan, but I think you can even more strongly apply it to iDubbbz.
And those people, they have a shelf life. They have a shelf life because they don't have the same fucking stubborn nature that I do. They don't have the same interests as I do. They inevitably become their own worst enemies. They inevitably cook themselves. You might think you're riding high on the slop for a little bit. You might think you're getting showered with praise. an army of anonymous Redditors telling you you're brilliant. But at the end of the night, when you go home and you sit down and you
Where's bro
look
yapping
yourself
on
in the
about?
mirror, you're not going to recognize who you've become.
I'm sorry.
That's it. It's turning into a lolcow of a different variety. That's what I think.
That's so mean.
Was it?
No.
I mean, I think it's, well, I mean, I guess the
pretty
truth.
accurate.
Oh, he's talking about Ethan.
I think the truth is what's mean.
You could see the pain in his face as he sat there and
I need more context, man. That was a whole lot of nothing. Just shit talking Ethan.
listened
Strong.
to that message that could be so easily applied to either of them. But again, like I said, definitely to iDubbbz. I mean, basically sacrificing your reputation
Yeah.
and how you're viewed and your career and all of these things to appeal to a certain agenda that you've really latched onto with your entire life.
If you it didn't tell me, if you took Hasan's voice and you took this entire picture and Hasan and iDubbbz aren't there, it's just a blank screen, I would have thought he was talking about anybody else. Like iDubbbz, like anyone else. He's so it's just like a bunch of verbal diarrhea to me.
I mean, is there a better example of that? I mean, he's
Could be
thrown
talking about
so
himself,
much
too.
away to go about this lifestyle journey that he's on right now, and it's just blowing up in his face. But there were times where iDubbbz was contributing a little more to the conversation, and when he did, Hasan was there to mock him, literally like bullying iDubbbz on his stream. Let's check this out.
Oh, you know what would be a good idea?
What?
Create a website where people can post their like H3 former fan like testimonies,
Yeah.
saying
Oh, that'll go well. Yeah.
how they got out, like what steps they took, relatable.
That'll
sort of
go well.
recovery
People won't
stories.
fake their stuff, yeah.
I think I could sway a lot of people.
Maybe. I don't think so. I don't think anything's gonna get him out of this. Yeah, their only interest is fucking slop and drama, dude. Their only interest is slop and drama. They're fucking morons.
Yeah, Hasan, my new friend, I have a little suggestion for you. Shut up, nerd. Okay. Yeah, do we really want to do this whole testimonials route? I'm sure there's infinite testimonials about former iDubbbz fans who would have a lot to say about him over the past couple of years. In fact,
I can attest to this. I used to watch this guy back when he did, was it Kickstarter Craft? I remember linking it to my brother, and we laughed about it and thought it was really funny.
I would imagine there's way
So
more
sad,
than Ethan
man.
Klein. I'm sure a lot of people have abandoned Ethan Klein over the years for various
Unironically
reasons.
watched this
But
guy.
iDubbbz in particular has completely and utterly dejected his former audience. He didn't just say, I want to move on from them. He said, you're bad people for supporting my content. I'm a good person now because I said I'm sorry about those things and I have empathy now. It's crazy. I guarantee there'd be a lot more of that. But also in that same stream, Creator Clash came up. In case you don't know, Creator Clash was an event formerly hosted and ran by Ian and his wife, Anissa. And due to the backlash of many different things and also the low ticket sales and all of that, they decided to step down as the owners of this event. And now they're just founders and they're letting their business partners run Creator Clash 3, which still is struggling mightily to sell tickets. We'll get into that in just a second. But during the stream and before iDubbbz actually made an appearance, Hasan decided on his own volition to talk about some of the fighters that dropped out. And that was also another reason cited as to why Ian and Anissa dropped out of the leadership and ownership role. And let's see what Hasan had to say about Harley Morenstein.
And also another fighter, Harley, also dropped out because he was upset and offended that Ian and iDubbbz had dared to criticize Ethan.
I mean, that's your own prerogative. If you feel upset, you should just leave. Again, I've said this before. If you want to leave because of something making you upset, that's fine. But like, it's your own person, man.
you might have guessed that's not what happened, right? I think everyone knows that's not what happened. In case you're not familiar, Harley Morenstein is someone who was involved with the 2 previous creator clashes, and he was scheduled to be the title card match of the 3rd one. He was probably the biggest name for Creator Clash, which is being criticized for not having a lot of star power amongst the content creators participating in these series of boxing events. And he is someone who said about a couple weeks ago,
oh, he's the epic mealtime guy. Oh,
that he is not boxing anymore. That
I didn't know what his real name was.
Voluntarily dropped out of this event, and he would quote a clip sharing these comments by Hasan saying, "He is lying or someone lied to him. That's not why I backed out of the event." And given some interviews that he has conducted over the past couple of days, he has pretty much hinted strongly that the content cop on H3 and all of the discussion surrounding that has made a very toxic environment and a very toxic attachment to this event, including people literally attaching the conflict between Israel and Palestinians to this boxing event. It is now intertwined. So somehow going out and boxing for an event that's supposed to lead to charity, charitable donations and big sums of money going to charity, is now tied into a global conflict. I mean, that's absolutely crazy and understandable that this guy wouldn't want to be a part of that. It's very strange.
If you said that kind of shit back in the 90s, like about some global event, I don't know what happened in the 90s, but like, you know, there was wars in the 90s. Imagine if they did that back then. I can't believe what I'm hearing in 2025.
And very toxic for someone just looking to box, right? But anyways, there's also some more news coming out about the Creator Clash 3 fundraiser. So apparently, according to some people in the H3...
Oh, the Cold War? Wait, that actually would be sick. Yeah, that would be actually kind of sick. A fucking Cold War boxing charity match.
The H3 Productions subreddit. There's only been 6 tickets sold in a period of 12 hours. Understand,
that's
the
pretty
stadium
good.
they're in has a max capacity of 21,000. They've already reduced it. They got rid of the outer ring of seats, which is thousands of seats. They're desperately trying to fill the remaining ones. There's a lot left open, and things are not looking good for this event. And also, you might have noticed this account, Yeet. Their clips have been included in many of my videos. They get clips covering various drama involving content creators. And also, the support that they've been getting, their account's gotten a lot of new followers over the past couple of months. When they get that support, it makes the worst people seethe. So I highly recommend following them because they've helped out many channels covering drama involving content creators. But anyways, that's going to do it for this video. As always, feel free to share your thoughts about today's topics in the comment section down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.
Actually unbelievable. No, man, we should just duke it out. Have Hasan and Sam Hyde duke it out, man. Oh my god, that would be great! Chat, clappies in the chat. Rev with the meltdown, bro. Very strong. Yeah, fucking each other up for charity? Yeah, that'd be sick. VTuber boxing win. Only if it's fake boxing. In a mud pit. With like soap and mud.